The reaction that Paul receives when he begins his own personal investigation into the disappearance of Henry Caldera, which mostly consists of asking his NASA employer about the renowned astronaut and his CAL experiment, is one of disbelief and derision. It is not possible for Henry Caldera to have heroically saved the Apollo 18 mission and successfully landed on the moon in the world that Paul now has found himself in. The Apollo 18 mission had been a complete and utter disaster, and instead of Henry being a famed astronaut who had won the Nobel Prize, as he had been in his original world, Henry was an inconsequential former space researcher. Paul discovers this information after seeing some video footage from the expedition. After failing to convince people that he had actually landed on the moon, Henry Caldera had become an alcoholic wastrel and had become disillusioned with life. This was especially true after he had failed to convince people this. The Henry Caldera of this reality is, in fact, Bud Caldera, as Paul discovers and travels to meet him. This is made abundantly evident by the ideas, and it is further confirmed at the conclusion of the episode. On the other hand, Bud is not convinced that Paul Lancaster is the one who has come to meet him, and as a result, he does not engage in conversation with the man or provide him with any form of entertainment. It appears like Bud fires a shot at Paul, but the outcomes of this action are not obvious. The new information suggests that it is quite probable that Henry and Bud, like Joe and Paul, arrived in parallel universes following their space voyages. This is the case because of the most recent development. Because Bud was sent into the parallel dimension, where the mission had failed, he is thought to be a liar and a cheat. It is likely that Bud had rescued the Apollo 18 mission in his reality, but he was transferred into the alternate realm. On the other hand, it appears that Henry Caldera was the one who made the mistake that led to the failure of the moon landing mission, but he was fortunate enough to find himself in the fortunate reality in which he had saved the day. As a result of the fact that both of them are effectively divided images of the same individual, it is clear that nobody detected the changeover. Henry went on to receive the Nobel Prize and the following accolades. If this is indeed what is taking on in Constellation, then it indicates that Henry is the true antagonist in some sense, and that his fervent desire to retrieve the CL gadget is most likely a means of ensuring that Bud will never be able to return to his reality. Using this line of reasoning, it is possible that Henry was the one who was responsible for pushing Bud's professional competitor to death on the cruise ship. Henry was attempting to get himself arrested for murder in another reality.